After COVID-19 spread quickly in China, airlines suspended flights to the country. Beijing became a ghost town for weeks. The infection circulated onto multiple cruise ships, causing bookings to plummet. The US stock market fell the most in years, as America's massive multinational tech companies like Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft all took hits after collectively driving the markets higher for a decade.
The longer it goes on and the more kind of sustained transmission we see, the more likely it is that people will adopt a kind of conservative position and try to limit the risk in ways that will introduce economic drag. So that's got to weigh on the minds of anyone running a business that requires public confidence to operate. It'll certainly weigh on the minds of the markets as well.
Clearly, the economics and the evolution of the disease itself, how severe that evolution is, are intimately linked. So to some extent, the first companies in the United States to be affected are likely to be the ones that bring people together. Transportation, entertainment, and restaurants, hotels will start to see the supply disruptions, not only from the international supply chains, but also from domestic movement of goods and services, or the Canada-US, Mexico-US interdependence that will start to drift apart. People will have to lose their jobs because they don't have the materials to work with.
So it really is anything that has a physical manufacturing footprint within China is going to be impacted by this. It's a complete supply chain issue. So the coronavirus is infecting supply chains in China by not allowing workers to get to the factories that produce goods that consumers would otherwise purchase throughout the world.
Taiwan's Foxconn, the world's largest electronics contract manufacturer, delayed workers' return to work, halting its production line for an extended period of time, leading to bleak forecasts for production and revenue.
We're going to see an impact in the bottom lines of a number of companies, not just the likes of Apple, but apparel companies, sneaker companies, toy companies, anything that you can think of that consumers might want to purchase and haven't been able to get their hands on as a result of these shutdowns, those are going to suffer.
Buying prescription drugs in the US is already expensive, and the coronavirus could limit supplies and send prices even higher. China supplies the US with raw materials that help produce roughly 370 drugs, and about 15% of global drug manufacturing plants are located in China. Areas with large Chinese immigrant populations are also struggling amid the outbreak. Mirroring what happened in China, Chinatowns across the US face major revenue losses due to fears that they either have the coronavirus and can spread it to them, or that they're buying tainted products from China.
I mean, people didn't believe me when I said I can throw a bowling ball down and not hit anything from time to time. You can see how empty the street is. This is far worse than SARS, even though we were not around during the SARS time. But from every indication, everyone that went through SARS that we have interviewed said this is far worse. And some even quote us, this is worse than 9/11. Because after 9/11, you still eat. Now they're afraid to come and eat. This is the part that's different. Normally this place is packed. They got severely affected, and he just added, it's not just here, it's in Flushing, it's in Brooklyn, any Chinese American community, and it's true. We saw in the news about other Chinatowns in North America and in Australia as well.
So literally, this is just a result of misinformation, ignorance, and certainly there's a touch of xenophobia because unfortunately we're hearing taxi drivers or individuals who are just avoiding any type of Asian community.
Yeah, even yesterday when the Jewish lady asked me the question, Kent, the next door, the fish market, the fish are from China? I said, no, they always serve the fresh fish from Long Island. They don't have a frozen fish. Really? I trust you. Okay, all right, you trust me, go ahead to purchase. And also come to this restaurant because it's vegan. All right, no disease, right?
Is that like a normal question people started asking?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, right. They ask me, is the fish from China? I said, no, it's from Long Island, fresh.
Our hope is that, similar to like past outbreaks, and Ebola legionnaires, is that once individuals are properly educated, then that fear will subside. We're in a global economy. We have to make sure that we're prepared, and our hope is that in the next couple months that the Chinese government will have the coronavirus under control, and therefore that will relieve some of the pressures we're seeing here in the United States.
I think for consumers, this is almost a one-off event as far as history goes. Once this starts to pass, we'll still see consumers go back out and start to purchase again, and factories go back up to their full capacity.
Best case scenario is a few hundred dead in the United States, and the economic consequences real because of fear, but short-lived, so maybe 0.25%, 0.5% of GDP over a year. I'm discouraged about both the immediate response in the United States, not in some other parts of the world, and the prospects for seriously preparing for the next one.